Imagine being offered a guaranteed, massive return on your money, and then you just walk away? Sounds totally insane, right? Well, today, in this explainer, we're diving into a huge mystery that completely shattered how we think about poverty. Millions of people were doing exactly that, and the smartest economists on the planet, they were totally stumped.
70%. That is the staggering annualized return on a dead simple investment for farmers over in Western Kenya. And what's the magic investment? It's literally just standard off-the-shelf fertilizer. When they use it right on their farms, the data proves it generates a completely unbelievable 70% return in just 1 year.
So here is the multi-million-dollar question. Faced with a 70% return, why do Kenyan farmers refuse to make money? I mean, this is a place where every single penny counts. And fertilizer? It's not some weird alien technology. Everybody knows what it is. Plus, you can buy it in tiny, tiny amounts, so just being poor really shouldn't lock you out. Yet, season after season, the fields sit there unfertilized. It is a total paradox. Part 1, the expert solutions failed. Okay, so how do the experts fix this? Well, there's a huge divide. On the left, you've got the Chicago School of Economics. They believe humans are perfectly rational calculators. So if farmers aren't buying fertilizer, it must secretly be a bad deal, right? Their brilliant solution? Do absolutely nothing. Then, on the right, you have the traditional World Bank perspective. They look at this and say, no, the poor are literally trapped by upfront costs. Their solution? Massive, expensive government handouts. You can actually see this mindset perfectly with former World Bank specialist Stephen Carr. He flat out argued the only way to help these farmers is to give the fertilizer away for free, or at least heavily, heavily subsidize it. The core assumption here was that the lack of cash was an absolutely insurmountable wall. Part 2. The unexpected truth. Prepare to have your mind blown because both sides were totally wrong. If you strip away all that fancy academic jargon, what are we actually left with? Procrastination. Seriously, severe, everyday human procrastination. It's not about perfect rationality. It's not about inescapable poverty. The farmers are just like us. They simply put off the chore of going to buy fertilizer until tomorrow. And then, well, tomorrow becomes the next day. It's a mental trap. Look at the timeline. Right at harvest time, the farmer actually has cash in their pocket. They're feeling patient, and they fully intend to buy fertilizer for the next season. But there's a tiny psychological annoyance to actually making the trip right then. So they think, I'll just buy it later. Fast forward months later to planting time, that cash is gone, spent on immediate needs. Now they're broke, they're feeling impatient, and boom, the window is closed. And do you want to know what the actual excuse was for delaying? A 30-minute trip to town. I am not kidding, that is the barrier. A simple half-hour walk was literally enough of a mental hurdle to just delay the purchase entirely. Putting off a 30-minute walk ultimately destroys a guaranteed 70% return on investment. It's just wild how our brains work, isn't it? Part 3. The real Kenyan experiment. So, researchers decided to test this with a brilliant, dead simple setup. Step 1. Visit the farmers right after the harvest, the exact moment their pockets are full of cash. Step 2. Force an immediate choice. Do you want to buy fertilizer for next season, yes or no? You got to decide right now. Step 3. If they pay up front, provide free delivery to them later. Boom! They completely remove that 30-minute walk from the equation. Now, hold on to your seats for this. The cost of this free delivery intervention, it's microscopic. 13 cents. That's it. The free delivery only saved the farmers about 13 cents in lost wages from that hypothetical walk to town. We are literally talking about a dime and a few pennies. Part 4. The magic of a small nudge. The results of this, they completely shatter everything we thought we knew about economics. When you look at the data, a microscopic 13-cent delivery discount offered right after harvest worked almost exactly as well as paying for half of the farmer's fertilizer later at planting time. Let me say that again so it sinks in. A few pennies of convenience offered at the right time is just as powerful as a massive 50% cash handout offered at the wrong time. By just offering that early free delivery, fertilizer use skyrocketed by 46 to 60%. That is a massive spike in adoption. And the craziest part? They achieved this with almost zero financial cost to the program itself. By simply understanding human behavior, they literally defeated procrastination. Part 5. Rethinking poverty and rationality. The implications here are just massive. First off, the data shows that 71% of these farmers are basically just procrastinators.
They aren't perfectly patient, but they aren't totally impatient either. Second, a tiny behavioral nudge completely beats doing nothing. Third, this approach entirely avoids the huge tax burdens and political mess of giant government subsidies. And lastly, the risk of people just reselling the fertilizer for profit is super minimal because the actual financial discount is so tiny.
So this leaves us with a really provocative question. If poverty is sometimes just procrastination, what else can we fix? If a 13-cent nudge can solve a problem that stumped the absolute smartest experts for decades, where else are we using the wrong tools? Think about that the next time you look at global development or, hey, even your own daily habits. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you on the next one.